Welcome to the podcast. I'm Ben.
I'm Mae.
And I'm Max. And we were had.
Can you believe it?
There are twists and there are turns.
Defleshed is a standard death.
Oh, that's fun.
We were had.
We were.
Whew. How do you feel?
Great.
I've never felt more like the third chair than right now. Let me tell you that.
We're on panel.
You guys are all on the couch.
It's harder for me not to. It's like normally when I'm off to the side, I'm like, it's easier for me to like back off. But when I'm sitting here on the couch, I'm like ready to like jump in like a fucking hyena. Like I'm like, yeah.
Bring it in.
I'm like, reel it in.
Impress us.
Yes, dance
feel
for us, monkey dance.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I just finished a wedding this weekend, and my mind is
Oh yeah.
a couple scoops of neurons got removed from my brain. Let me just say that I'm not operating with a full mind today.
Congrats to Carl.
Congrats to Carl
and Mackenzie.
And Mackenzie. Carl
Wonderful.
and Mackenzie.
Good job, you guys.
Good job on your marriage.
Well done. They made it through to all the events, everything. Impeccable taste.
I mean, yeah, I would assume the bride and the
they
groom
made
would
it.
go to all
They made it to all the events.
They were good.
They showed up.
Hell yeah.
I just don't show up to my own rehearsal dinner. Like,
You would do that.
no, I would go. I like a party.
Yeah, that's true.
It shows.
You just had your Bachelorette. How did it go?
It was amazing.
Nice.
It was great.
Mexico
We did
City.
Mexico City. We did the wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
That was really fun, really ridiculous. The Mexicans said a bunch of horrifyingly racist things.
To you?
No, to the wrestlers. It was like
Oh.
crazy.
Wait, who said racist things?
The Mexicans in the audience.
arena.
Were the wrestlers
Yeah.
also Mexican?
Well, there was one that was Japanese, and let's just say they came up with a not so creative term. I don't even want to say it on air.
You probably
But
should.
Flip it out.
Yeah. They kept going. Okay, you're gonna bleep it out.
I'll leave it out.
It's not really that bad, but they kept going Pikachu, Pikachu.
I mean, that's
and-
Yeah.
I wanted to tell you.
And then so I turned around and there was like this lady that was yelling it. I was like, "Oh, is that his name?" And she was like, "No, we do it because." And then she like slanted her.
No,
eyes.
that's the problem.
And I was like, well, I
Christ.
could see where you came up with it, but I just thought I just thought it was a fucking
I didn't need your help getting
wrestler name.
That would be weird if they turned on you, where you were like, "Is that really their name?" And they're like, "How dare no,
What?
you racist."
Fucking gringo.
That's so
And it was
funny.
so funny because my sister-in-law is from Ecuador, and so she knew what was like happening. Just like, and then afterwards we like talked about it. We're like, how crazy was that when they were being like kind of fucking racist,
Yeah.
like all as like a arena.
Right.
And she was like, no, that wasn't racist. They were just having fun. I was like, I mean, it might be fun, but it's still racism. I was like, that's definitely fucking racist.
Wow, May below the border was woke as fuck. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
It's all relative.
yeah. There was one really hot guy that they kept. You know how they try to like take their masks off,
And it's a big reveal?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
reveal, but they didn't quite get it off. But I could tell he was hot.
Hell
I could
yeah.
tell.
You clocked it.
I clocked it. Yeah.
Pikachu is looking nice.
Yeah. We all like got out on the street and we were like orange pants can get it. we were like we want to go backstage. Yeah. What else? We did the canals. That was wicked fun.
What are the canals?
So you go on these like colorful boats, and then you just like go out on this boat, and then these other boats come up to you, and they'll serve you beer or margaritas or whatever. So they just like come up, give you your drink, and then like leave. And then they serve that corn, you know, the corn with all the fucking
Elotes.
shit on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. And then we had a mariachi band. Come on, it was amazing. It was the best time of my life.
Right,
And we were on
now you're
mushrooms.
sounding
Yeah, okay.
a little.
Now it's getting racist.
I mean, you did lose
Dance
you lost your phone while fisting a donkey's ass.
Oh yeah, you lost your phone.
Let's
While
not leave
fisting a
that.
donkey's ass.
No, forget about the donkey's eye. Everyone does that. Well, you lost your phone.
I did lose my phone, so that fucking sucked. And so me and my sister I was like falling asleep at dinner, and then I went home and barfed.
Hell yeah.
It's not a bachelorette until someone loses their phone and or pukes.
Right, yeah.
But
Usually same time.
usually at the same time in the toilet, puking on it. So I leave it in an Uber and I go up to the hotel room, and then the hotel calls my sister, who's like lucid, and I'm like puking in the bathroom.
Right.
And she goes down there, and this guy was like, "We found your phone," and she was like, "No, it's not ours." And let this man walk away with my phone.
That's insane.
And then the next morning was like, "Yeah, it was so weird. This guy was trying to give me a phone, and
Kidnapper.
yeah, it was
Everything's
so
a sex
weird."
trafficking
Yeah.
tactic nowadays.
She was like, "So I narrowly escaped death." I was like, "No, you gave away my phone." That guy was trying to give you back my fucking phone, No, thank you.
No. Thank you. It
Forget
says
it.
your name on the back. No.
Yeah, there's a photo of Greg on it as a cover.
He's like, what's the code for it, just in case?
Yeah.
She's like, it's 11783.
Yeah.
He gets in.
It's-
She
yeah.
goes, what are the chances?
Oh,
Bye.
bye.
Apple
Gotta go.
Wallet is full.
Oh, you're right.
She
Not the
calls
phone.
the phone and it starts ringing, and she's like, "That could be anything."
Yeah.
They can clone a phone. Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, she's like, you're tricking me. I don't know what this is, but it's a trick.
I've seen SVU. I know what's happening here.
So that was horrible. But then I got to it was kind of nice actually, because then I just didn't have a phone, didn't have an option to have a phone, and so I was just completely, there in the
How
moment. 'cause I
long was
can't-
that? How many days did you go without a phone? Like a full.
2 days.
That's a long time.
It was a
That's
long
a long time.
And
In
I was,
Mexico.
yeah, right. I was completely fine with it until when we were going back to the airport. I was like, what am I supposed to do now? Watch a fucking book?
Right.
Hope you had Xanax.
It's terrible. I literally drank 3 wines on the way home, and it was
Makes sense.
Ooh, man.
Oof.
Oof.
Yeah.
Oofaloo, huh?
I was hungover this morning, and I didn't have to be. I was going home. I was the flight.
Yeah. It was
You didn't
not
have a
necessary.
phone?
Yeah.
I didn't have a phone. Yeah, what was I supposed to do?
You just look at the wall.
Have you been checking the internet to see if your nudes have leaked yet?
I don't really take funny nudes. I mean, funny nudes.
Funny nudes? You're saying you take funny nudes?
Actually, I do take hilarious nudes. One time in college, a boyfriend asked me for a nude, and I was so annoyed by him that I just I made myself look like the girl from The Ring. I took a photo like that with my hair down in front of my face and this horrible stance.
Were your titties
Squared
out?
off to the camera. Yeah, I was naked in the photo. I was like, "Here's your nude, you fucking jerk." And it was the least sexy nude in the world.
Fuck
But, yeah.
I hope that's the one that leaks.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, that would be embarrassing.
Should we, speaking of the thing Girl from the Ring, should we talk about the episode?
Yes,
Should
yes.
we
We
do
were
the
had
podcast?
Maye's phone.
Yeah, what happened to my phone?
Clearly,
Where
was
is
it really the
my
phone?
sister would be like, well, that is a mystery. That we'll never solve it.
She's
No
in the
way.
comments. She's like, "This is totally debunked. That was not her phone." Anyway, Dudleytown. Also, one last thing. Last week we told you guys we were going to start a Patreon if a single person commented, and
Right.
then more than one person commented, not the brag. And so,
How many people too?
2 or 3.
One person
2 or 3.
gave several.
It was Ben.
It was me. Yeah.
That's amazing. So we'll be starting a Patreon. We don't know what that's going to look like or when, but that's a guarantee that it's going to happen.
You can see my nudes.
That's a we were had problem.
Yeah.
My ring nudes will be on there. How about that?
Hey.
That's tier 1.
Tier one.
Tier 1 payment.
$5 a month.
$5 a month to keep re-upping, looking at
We
that
post
one
it every day at the same time.
It's like that big black dude that was around on COVID, but it's all May
Oh, yeah.
with the ring.
Yes, dude, that guy was
For $5 a month, every single day of the month, we will text you this new photo of May.
New
And it'll say
memes
COVID
of
update,
May.
and then you click on the link, and it's just me as the fucking ring girl.
It's the new kind of calendar where it's the same picture every single time.
It's the same picture, but in the November there's just leaves around it. and then in December there's some snow.
We put her around the world.
It's an amazing idea.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Amazing. Okay, so Dudleytown, Connecticut. It's October, Halloween. I'm doing a haunted, cursed town in
Love it.
Connecticut. Famously, where I'm from.
I've read a little bit about this town, so I'm excited.
Dudleytown.
Yeah.
I've almost done this several times.
Yeah.
But when you come towards episode 100, you start reaching deep into the pile.
All right.
You start taking a second look at some topics.
Like cryptids.
You know what I'm really pissed about?
An item you added to the list.
Ben's not even presenting.
Not even presenting. Let me just say on the record, because I said this in a text, there has been no subject I have done that Mae and Max have been fully endorsed and supported.
Or recommended.
So many ideas that I get shit for. Previously, I had a conversation with Mae where she's like, I've always wanted to learn more about that. That's really great.
And then on the episode, I'm like, what a fucking
Why would you pick this, you bitch?
Yeah.
It's just we need a victim. And it's you.
All right, Dudleytown.
Dudleytown. One critique off the top. I read. I pulled from 3, 4, even 5 different articles. Not one was titled Dudleytown, more like Deadlytown. Not a single one of them. I was pissed. I kept looking for it. I typed that title into the Google.
That's the title of our app.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, hey.
There you go.
Oh, there. That's an episode title.
Yeah.
Somebody comments if the link to an article title there.
No.
Well, if it's on
It's the main article.
I can't go to page 2. That's the dark web. So I stay on page 1. My sources, because I like to source. New York Times, an article from 1989.
Oh.
Okay.
Damnedconnecticut.com.
Oh, is that like a weird NJ?
It's like a weird NJ.
but that's so Connecticut to be like,
Yeah,
damn.
damn.
Drats, Connecticut.
I read it more like, damn, Connecticut. Damn, Connecticut. That's how I read it.
It's like a spicy
It's
wing
based in
commercial.
Bridgeport.
Damn.
Connecticut. And the last one is a thing called American Hauntings. It's another website.
Okay.
So a lot of peer-reviewed stuff here.
Wait, so New York Times was the first one?
New York Times, 1989. This became this was a real story. Like 70s and 80s. Like this was like the talk of the town. We'll start with a little intro. Duck Shun. For many years, ghost hunters have been fascinated by tales of the lost village of Dudleytown, a vanished Connecticut village that was apparently plagued by ghosts, demons, and residents who vanished without a trace. These grave events were said to be caused by... Can you move your fucking cursor? Get off the document.
Oh, sorry.
It's changing words to penis. I can see you typing in front of me. That's not
Say it with the penis in
Okay,
it.
these grave events were said to be caused by a curse brought by the Dudley family to the New World. But how real was this penis? It worked.
So,
Right at the end.
it's in like the middle estate next to Cornwall, right?
It's like so.
Okay.
It's not even its own town. Like I will come up to it, but it's part of Cornwall. It's like
Okay.
it was like a village within there.
My friend has a house in Cornwall. Beautiful
Get out.
town. Yeah.
That's amazing.
We should go to Dudleytown.
We should go to Cornwall.
Yeah. James, you hear that? Invite us over.
James. James. We'll see you at home. Residents have become weary of the tale spinners and their myths and are anxious to put the Dudleytown matter to rest. If anything, they assert Dudleytown was merely a village that failed. On the
Okay.
other side of the argument, people say this is the evilest place on earth, and many paranormal investigators have left running. I'll never believe a paranormal investigator.
No.
If you're putting the video on YouTube and you're running away from a shadow, that's your friend in the woods. I won't believe it. I'm sorry. I can't. Right.
Also, their entire profession relies on people believing that these things are real.
Yeah, you're a paid actor.
Right.
You're like, hello, is anybody there? Fuck, they're here. It's silence.
Yeah.
They don't even try to fake it sometimes. Anyway, let's talk about the lore. I just had a stroke. All right. You guys, it's 10:15
It's late.
p.m. Eastern Standard
too
Time,
late.
Hell yeah.
and I passed away. Not 24 hours ago. So I actually, in honor of Halloween, I am a ghost. Actually, I'm a little demon boy. All right. So according to the legends, which were reportedly started in the 1920s by local residents, the later demise of the community stemmed from the curse of the Dudley family, whose history followed them from England. Records show that one Edmund Dudley had his head chopped off by
Oh my
orders
God.
of Henry VII for annoying members of the court circle. Supposedly, a curse was placed on the family at this time, which stated that all of the Dudley descendants would be surrounded by horror and death for the rest of their days.
Oh, this was like sort of recent, 1920s-ish. I mean,
No, but
considering...
like, we're talking about something from back to the 1500s is when
Oh,
the
oh,
original...
oh, I see,
Yeah,
I see.
this is when like, the reports were like... The
I get
legends
it.
like were like, oh, this is what happened to the Dudleys. But
I get it.
that would have been like 1510s when this happened.
Yeah.
And later, Edmund's son, John the Duke of Northumberland, plotted to overthrow Edward VI by marrying his son, Lord Guilford Dudley, to Lady Jane Grey. After the king's death, she became queen for a short time before the plot failed. As a result, Lady Jane and both Dudleys were decapitated.
Oh my gosh.
In the meantime, Lord Guilford Dudley's brother, a military officer, returned to England from France, infected with the plague. The disease spread to his troops, killing most of them, as well as thousands of English citizens. Another of Guilford's brothers, the Earl of Leicestershire, said to be a favorite of Elizabeth I, later left England for unexplained reasons. His descendant, William Dudley, was the first to come to Connecticut, settling in Guilford, lovely town. 3 of his descendants moved to the Cornwall Hills in the middle of the 1700s. Those people...
Damn.
James Cornwall. This is your friend.
James Gold.
One thing that should be mentioned was that Dudleytown was never an actual town. It was a more isolated part of Cornwall. The village rested in the middle of 3 large hills, which accounts for the recollections of it being nearly dark at noontime. It's a spooky little place.
Yeah, that
It's like,
sucks. Who's
there's
going to live somewhere
why
that's
would
dark?
you put there? And they were farmers
That's,
in a place that didn't get sunlight.
that makes sense.
Doesn't make sense. The next sentence. The Cornwall Township was never a good area for farming, as it was apparent.
What if you're a mud farmer?
As is apparent by the rocks that were used to build the foundations and stone walls that still stand today. In spite of this, though, settlers began to trickle into the area. The Tanner family, the Joneses, the Pattersons, the Dibbles, and the Porters all took up residence here.
Those names aren't real.
Those are not names.
The Dibbles and the Porters.
And the Dibbles and the Tiddles and the Piddles. The community grew even larger after iron ore was discovered. Do you mind, Mr. Vice President? Iron ore was discovered nearby, and farming became a secondary concern. However, there were never any stores, shops, schools, or churches in Dudleytown. Bunch of virgins. Provisions had to be purchased in nearby towns. Virgins. I muttered virgins under my breath. Provisions had to be purchased in nearby towns, and when one died, a trip to Cornwall was necessary because, in addition to there being no church in town, there was no cemetery either. Just pile up the dead in the street. The population of Dudleytown was never large, and according to an 1854 map, the peak number of families that lived there only reached 26.
Oh.
Also up to 26 families. At most, what is that? 100? Couple hundred?
So
Yeah.
I'm a little confused. So far, this just sounds like every town. Like, there's a family, some people got their heads chopped off. And now
How's
they're
that
just
every
like
town?
in a
Where you
town. From like these old towns, like these old ass fucking 20s. Like everyone's got diseases and their heads are getting cut off.
You always hearing about this.
Oh, wait, it's old school. This is how it was.
What were you saying?
Back in the good old days. Yeah, back when you died from syphilis.
Yeah, some bitch would say something out loud and get
live
the
with
fuck
it.
Listen, my foot's black. I don't know. It's just that way.
So
Okay,
all
what was
this
your
goes. So it all goes back to this Henry VII thing, and then that's how they
so that
eventually.
was the original thing. The Henry
Okay.
VII thing was like that one guy was gunning for the throne,
Yeah,
and he got
yeah,
decapitated, and then another guy in the family.
And those are the
tried
descendants.
again.
Those are the ancestors.
Those
of,
are already the ancestors, and
Okay.
then the plague guy, that thing. Okay, and right off the bunk, you can debunk a lot of it because not every family member got fucked. But
Oh wait, but we haven't gotten to that.
well, I'm talking about,
fucking-
like there were still other Dudleys
yeah, okay,
lying around,
okay,
even back then. All right, so let's talk about the curse's victims.
Yeah.
This is talking about the Dudleys. They got victims.
Okay.
Despite the outward signs of prosperity, there were strange deaths and bizarre occurrences at Dudleytown from the start. Some historians have attempted to downplay the unusual events in recent years. They will debunk the legends of the town by first stating how few people there ever were who lived here, and then will try and downplay the disappearances, cases of insanity, and weird deaths as if such things happen all the time. And perhaps they do, but why so many unusual happenings in such an isolated area with so few people living in it? The number of deaths that have occurred here would not be such a high number in a larger town, but in this small community, one cannot help but wonder what exactly was taking place. There are also, I believe, an inordinate number of people who went insane in this area, as well as people who simply vanished, that are in addition to those who are documented here. It's no wonder, bogus or not, that a story started about a Dudleytown curse.
Maybe they all went insane because there's no fucking sunlight.
Yeah, if you're living in the goddamn dark,
Yeah.
you're going to disappear because you got lost on the way home.
How is this one part of Connecticut darker than the rest?
Because there's 3 mountains all around it.
Yeah, so it's like a little, like-
Sounds.
Hills.
Yeah.
It's like a little thing. They're
Yeah.
farming in rock.
So they all disappeared. That's what happened.
So yeah, eventually just got totally deserted.
Oh, it just. Oh, okay.
yeah,
wow.
totally like
Abandoned town. Ghost town.
Yeah,
Like a Roanoke situation?
not
Yeah.
as
Not-
intense of Roanoke, but
Yeah.
like it's like
Okay.
it's left in like ruins.
Yeah.
Can you go in there?
No.
Am I jumping ahead?
No,
Okay.
you really can't. But I mean, that
Oh.
is my last is a warning. Like you can't go there. They won't let you in.
Interesting.
Most of the Dudleys moved out of the region and lived long and full lives, dying of natural causes and forever diminishing any possibilities of a curse. Meaning, like the Dudleys that moved here, like a few of them moved here.
Yeah.
Only Abiel Dudley remained in town, in Dudleytown, and after a series of reverses, lost his entire fortune and his mind. Abiel died in 1799 at the age of 90, and when he was no longer able to pay his debts, the town took his property, sold it, and then made him a ward of the town. Toward the end, he was senile and insane and would not be the last to suffer from this affliction.
Well, I mean, it's fucking 90 years old.
He's 90 years old. What
Yeah,
are you
he
talking
was a
about?
little-
yeah. Dozens of legends recall the tragedies that befell Dudleytown. One of the first tells of the untimely death of Gershon Hollister, famously the family that started Hollister. He died in 1792. In some accounts, he died by falling off an uncompleted structure during a barn raising. In others, he was murdered in the home of William Tanner, a neighbor of Abiel Dudley, who is said to have died a demented pauper. If anyone ever called me a demented pauper, I would jump out a window.
Whoa. I am not a bum.
Demented fine.
But these are, I mean, this is not part of the hauntedness. These
These are the curse. These are the victims of the curse.
the guy who died at 90, he's cursed?
Yeah, but he lost his whole fortune, became a ward of the town. He died a demented pauper.
Wait, I thought it was the second guy.
No, that's Abiel. The second guy either fell off a barn or was murdered.
Okay.
They suspected foul play. Other famous victims of the Dudleytown curse included the Nathaniel Carter family, who moved to Dudleytown around 1759 and lived in the house once owned by Abiel Dudley, another Dudley house. 4 years later, the family moved to Binghamton, New York, and built a log
where Mike's
cabin.
from.
Yeah, Binghamton.
Yeah.
Hey, Vermonte. Apparently, the curse followed them. In 1764, while Nathaniel Carter was away from home, a band of hostile Indians invaded their homestead, massacred his wife and children, then burned the house to the ground. When he returned, he too was scalped and killed.
Whoa.
One of the more famous legends tells how Mary Cheney Greeley, the wife of Horace Greeley, hanged herself a week before her husband lost his bid for the presidency in 1872.
Oh.
Another recalls how the Revolutionary War hero General Herman Swift lost his mind after his third wife was struck by lightning. Are these enough for you, you sick fuck?
I don't know.
I'm kind of with Chris. This is just kind of how things were.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like. I don't know.
fall-
That
off a
last
barn.
one, I don't know if it's his third wife was struck by lightning or his third wife was struck by lightning. Like the third of his wives. Each one was struck by lightning.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You're not going to believe this. I would lose my mind too.
He doesn't go for a fourth. He's like, I don't want you to get hit by lightning.
I can't, don't leave the house.
They all get hit by lightning. It's the curse, I tell you. The Dudley curse.
Once the stories about the settlement had spread, folklorists say residents began to leave. By 1900, Dudleytown had been abandoned. Then, in 1924, Dr. William Clark, a cancer specialist from New York, bought about 1,000 acres on Bald Mountain that contained part of Dudleytown. According to David E. Phillips, a folklorist and the author of, quote, Legendary Connecticut, Dr. Clark and his wife lived peacefully in Dudleytown until one summer when he was called to New York on business. When he returned 36 hours later, his wife was nowhere to be found. Mr. Phillips wrote about it this way, quote, but as he pushed open the front door, which had been left slightly ajar, he heard a sound that he would never forget. From an upstairs room came the maniacal, uncontrollable laughter of one who had taken leave of her senses. During his absence, his wife had gone quite mad.
Oh.
She became the Joker. The story also claims that she told of strange creatures that came out of the forest and attacked her.
Whoa.
She committed suicide soon after.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Absolutely absurd.
How long was he gone for? Like
3 days.
Oh my god.
36 hours. He returned 36 hours later.
Yikes.
And it got her. That's literally the plot of the Conjuring. Also, I don't have this in the notes, but I came across the thing where, like, the Warrens had to give it. It's Connecticut. It's demons. It's haunted. The Warrens did go to the property and they declared it officially haunted. And that's a Warren guarantee.
They are legit.
They are legit. They're fucking.
I mean, I
those
think they're
movies-
liars and
I consider those
thieves.
movies documentaries. But
Yeah.
to go on. So Dr. Clark continued to maintain his house in Dudleytown and continued to visit. In 1924, he and his new wife, Carita, as well as other doctors, friends, and interested landowners, formed the, quote, Dark Entry Forest Association. It was designed to act as forest preserve so that the land around Dudleytown would remain forever wild. Today, Dudleytown is
Don't build a house up in the woods or your wife will kill herself.
Who names it the Dark Entry Forest Association?
Yeah, it sounds
right?
like a group of people who are like, don't go up in them woods.
Yeah, or it's an orgy place. Dark Entry.
We have sex here on the border, the perimeter, but then when you go inside, that's where the killing happens. But the orgies, they're out here.
You're not allowed unless you're invited in, like Soho House.
This is Soho House.
It's Soho House.
Someone's got to
This is
recommend
Okay,
you.
now I'm understanding it's Soho House.
Yeah, I'm describing
We have
Soho
these
House.
funny nudes of a lady looking like the Ring. If you have one of those, that's how you get into the orgy.
Like and subscribe to our Patreon.
In the bathroom of Soho House hangs Mae's picture. But you have to subscribe to Patreon to see it. All right, so today, okay.
The idea of having the seasonal stuff is brilliant.
It's so
Can we
fun.
make it like a daily thing? You know, like every day is like National like Waffle Day or something like that. We just make it like a something super.
It's Titty Tuesday, that's right. Ring time, baby. Get ready, gang. Oh, no. Okay, so there are a group of homes on Bald Mountain Road that are very secluded from the main roads, and they belong to the closest residents. These locals maintain that nothing supernatural takes place in this region. Perhaps they're right. It seems unlikely that the curse on Dudleytown ever really existed, but on the other hand, there is something strange about such a small area with so many disappearances, unusual deaths, suicides, and cases of insanity. And I'll say this too. The people that are the locals that are there that are like, nothing's wrong with this place, it's fine, are always the ones that are in on it.
Yeah, it's
So
true.
that actually makes me believe that it is real.
It just kinda seems
when,
like a
when you fake it, you're like, yeah, it's totally crazy here. You should buy some merch.
Right. That's
That's like
yeah,
those are the ones that
yeah.
they're lying.
Yeah, you're right.
So what's the story with it now?
So there
it's
are
a no-go.
people that live on like the outskirts because like this Dark Entry, these folk, they own like most of the property that Dudleytown used to be on. But there are like people like on like the outskirts of like Bald Mountain Road, which is like the people that live in like this weird thing. That this next section is like. In this New York Times article from 1989, they like interviewed a bunch of residents, like the residents that still live in these like little houses. And so once this first guy, once known to residents as the Hermit of Dudleytown, Mr. Killham,
Oh my
is
God.
often asked. They're all like creepy little.
That's what I was just gonna
village
say.
folk, you know what I
It
mean?
could
Like-
just be a weird town that's always dark, so it just attracts weird people
Yeah.
with
Oh,
mental
okay.
illness.
Yeah,
But
because why
that's-
would
So
you
then
want to live
they're
there?
like,
But they're like that's the funniest part though. This place is totally normal, and it's like just the dark woods. It's like that's still
it's not like a normal town.
It's still not a place you should want to live.
yeah. This isn't like what is it, Nightmare on Elm Street? It's not Elm Street. It's like a
A
little
little
town.
cul-de-sac
Yeah, like we're in
somewhere.
burbs and fucking Tom Hanks lives
Yeah.
on the cul-de-sac.
It definitely sounds like one of those towns where like weird shit happens. And you're
Yeah,
like, yeah.
weirdos go there. Yeah,
You live
weird
next
people.
to the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter. What do you think is happening?
Just read Outliers. Malcolm Gladwell.
Would you say no cemeteries too? What was that?
Yeah, there was no cemetery, no doctor. There's just these. You think
Just
these people
houses?
are all fucking in
Maybe
the
they're all
dark
fucking.
mountains? You don't think they're
I mean,
all
I don't see why.
fucking-
What else could be going
What else
on?
is going on? The
What else is
crops
going
aren't
on?
growing.
They're for people who want to be left alone. Those types of people are weird.
Yeah.
You just want to. Your whole goal is just, I want to be left alone.
Yeah, in the woods.
In the woods.
In the woods.
Where it's
no
always
one can
dark.
see
So
a
do they
thing.
have to like show that they're residents of Dudleytown to get back in? Like
Yeah,
Soho
it's like
House.
it's like very. It's exactly like
point
Soho.
of reference.
You scan it, so it's like
Because
Soho.
they have to go outside in Cornwall to like get their groceries, right?
There's like a gate with an RFID card.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's not a Stop and Shop on Bald Mountain Road.
There's no Stop and Shop.
No.
Where are they getting their food? They eating fucking squirrels?
There's the Dudley.
I don't know.
There's the Dark Force Dudleytown outpost.
I think about that all the time when you go to these like wicked remote towns in like Colorado or something. I'm like, where are you getting your
Are
rotisserie
you
chickens?
hunting, you freaks?
Yeah, are you
no.
hunting for venison? You fucking
No,
psychos?
I think these people just have like old style like ice buckets, and they just keep a bunch of meats.
No.
They're curing meats.
Yeah,
in their
it's
shed.
like all packed in salt and buried under the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Just move to a place that has grocery stores.
Hey, here's a tip: move.
You freaks! goddamn freaks.
So this hermit guy, he's often asked by tourists to the point where to the nearest to point to the way to the nearest ghost. And back then, it was like still okay to go here.
Where can I get a root beer barrel around
He
here?
said, "I tell them if you believe in ghosts, I guess you'll find one. If you don't, then there aren't going to be
Oh,
any." And it's like,
come
okay,
on.
you little troll,
Yeah.
telling a riddles 3.
But isn't that like the whole idea of like people who are into paranormal stuff, where it's like you have to be open to the idea,
Yeah,
like
that is
in
true.
order to see it.
Yeah.
So if you're just up there and you're like, I'm here to fucking come, you're like, you're not gonna see ghosts.
Yeah, you're here to come. You're just gonna come.
But if you're up there looking for ghosts, you know, it's
Yeah,
not
but
gonna
doesn't
find
that
you.
prove that this stuff doesn't exist? If you only can see it if you believe it?
But I don't know. But I've just
No, I think it's because people, you can use the argument for both sides, where it's like, if you don't want to see it, you won't see it.
right. 'Cause you're not open to like,
Like-
spiritually open to it.
In like,
So
it's
then
like-
they're hiding
But
from you because
also-
you're not open
your
to
your
it. Is that
third
the idea?
eye's not open.
Your third eye's not
Well,
open.
I wouldn't even
Yeah.
argue go that far because I watch every single fantasy show and that's ever happened. But they're always like, yeah, the reason why this happens all the time, but regular people, they just like to pretend it doesn't exist. They just ignore it. You
They
know?
ignore it.
So
They
the
ignore it.
explanation is like everyone's just a pussy who's not willing to. They can't handle it. You know?
It's cool, dude. I'm a pussy too. I'm not into it.
What,
I'll go
why
in
are
the
people?
woods.
Why are people consoling me?
It's fine. You're not the only pussy, man.
But wait, I don't even understand how I'm. So you're saying?
Because you're not open to it.
Oh, I'm not open to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Got it.
But for residents like
Be open and less gay.
Stop opening in certain ways and open in others. You know what I mean?
because you're getting fucked, Ben.
Yeah.
Check out the ring picture for LGBT for Pride Month.
Rainbow ring.
Yeah, rainbow ring.
$10 a month. We'll get you a T-shirt with the famous photo on the front, on the back. Quote: "Be less gay."
Yeah.
We were happy.
Oh God.
That's $10 though.
This episode's just become a brainstorming session for the Patreon.
This is great. We were gonna meet after this, but now we don't need
Write
to
in
meet
with your
anymore.
ideas.
All right, so more accounts. So for residents like John and Jean Leach, who have lived on Bald Mountain for 36 years, freaks, the community failed because of poor farming conditions and lack of financial opportunities. The Leaches added that the real curse of Dudleytown are the legends themselves. Which have
Boring.
attracted
Yeah, not your poor business skills and deciding to farm in a dark mountain.
Yeah, right.
the legends have
ridiculous.
attracted everyone from witchcraft societies to motorcyclists who tear up the highway and throw beer cans along the way.
Beer
They come
cans.
roaring up here expecting there to be toilet facilities and concession stand, Mr. Leach said. What they don't realize is that there's absolutely nothing to be seen, which makes me believe yet again you're hiding something.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing to see, Mr. Leach. Okay. Okay, that's a real name.
Mr. Leach.
Mr. Leach.
Says it all.
Ms. Clark, a former president of the Historical Society who is now in her 90s, this was in the 80s, so I've got a feeling Clark isn't still with us, concludes the book with a plea to tourists. She concluded this like pamphlet that they wrote to dissuade people. The quote is: "Today's owners and taxpayers of Dudleytown are professional people who live for privacy and seclusion. They do not welcome tourists or those seeking tales of chilling or wild experiences. Please do not come. There are no ghosts, no spirits, and no curse."
You're right. It
Yeah,
does
it is
make
weird.
it. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, but then it's like, now I'm flipping myself. Is it like reverse psychology?
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
probably that
It's like,
too.
it's
Yeah.
like, could go either way.
Yeah. That's fun.
It's fun.
But they're not making any sort of monetary profit off these curses.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that I saw there was a couple articles that were like, all right, would you like to buy the town from like 5 years ago? Like you can own a haunted town, but either they didn't end up selling it or what, because those stopped coming up. Anyway,
Or it's just a waste of
there's
money.
not much left to go here. Just a quick little hop, skip, and a jump. I just wanted to note, okay, maybe you could be like, okay, was it not a curse? So like, it might not have been the Dudley's fault. It could have been
Yeah.
something else. So as far as we know, the ghostly tales began to surface in the 1940s. It was at this time that visitors to the ruins of the village began to speak of strange incidents and wispy apparitions in the woods. If somebody called me a wispy apparition, even today, those who have visited the place boast of paranormal photographs, overwhelming feelings of terror, mysterious mysterious lights, sights, and sounds, and even of being touched, pushed, and scratched by unseen hands. Some researchers refer to the area as a, quote, negative power spot, or a place where entities enter this world from the other side.
This is a negative power spot. I don't feel safe here.
I used to sage it with my crystals.
This place is toxic.
Yeah.
I was misgendered here.
They say this may explain the strange events in Dudleytown's history, like the eerie reports, the strange creatures, and perhaps even the outbreaks of insanity and madness. The place is often thought of as, quote, tainted in some way, as if the ground has somehow spoiled here, or perhaps was sour all along. You heard it here first. Dudleytown, America's taint?
America's dark taint. The evilest taint in all of America.
And finally, what if you go, watchers and also listeners? You can't. The remains of Dudleytown are on private property owned by the Dark Entry Forest Association, who vigorously discourage all visitors. It is heavily patrolled by local and state police, who will not hesitate to arrest and prosecute any trespassers.
That is so
Good
weird.
luck stopping us, because we're coming, Dudleys.
The Dark Entry Forest Association does not allow public parking.
Yeah, that's so fucking weird.
So you're not allowed to
Step foot in
step
it?
foot.
You cannot step foot in it. It is
Weird.
private property, which only builds the lore.
Right.
It does.
I feel like though, won't they? Don't these types of places like want to bring the insanity? Like they want victims to the darkness.
They're not selling merch. Oh, are you saying? Well, that's the thing. Is like with rules like this, you do have people that maybe can sometimes sneak in secretly, so you can kill those people because
Yeah, 'cause
nobody
no one
knows
would
that
know.
they came.
Yeah.
So maybe they are doing dark shit over there. Literally, you
Maybe
can't see
there's a
shit.
bunch of
It's so
bodies in there.
dark.
And so,
Have you been like in that area at all?
I went to Cornwall, the town
Is it
around
like
it.
inside the mountains? Like it's
No, this part is like in the mountains.
Yeah.
really.
Cornwall itself, I don't think is like in the mountains.
No, I don't think so.
But I don't.
But yeah.
I can't say that I've been to Cornwall. Maybe I used to play travel soccer or whatever. You heard about?
Dudleytown,
Like whatever.
Just make a gun?
Yeah, it was like gang. I used to play like Blue Storm. But
I'm imagining the Dudleytown soccer team. They're just like meek and they have like bags under their eyes. They're all just like sickly.
They have absolutely no.
Syphilitic.
Yeah, their fucking shin bands are loose on them.
give it up for the Dudleytown melon heads, everybody.
And use my hands because I don't have.
One thing that's weird is that I don't play soccer.
You guys win the game and then all of a sudden you look back and there was no team the whole time.
That one lady said that she was visited by strange creatures. That's something to consider.
Something to think about.
Something to think about.
That's why it's like haunted, like that kind of stuff. The madness, the recurring madness, I don't
Yeah.
like.
No, I don't
when
like
you're
it.
talking about murders and deaths and madness per capita, those are good numbers. Those are not rookie numbers.
Yeah.
Show up on like a sandwich shop up there or something.
Yeah.
Get people in. You know?
Like a sweet
Get
treat.
people happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's a little
Like a
chutney,
bakery.
a little mango chutney with
Yeah.
some ham or something.
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
Just a Starbucks opens. It's a totally normal Starbucks in the mountain.
So I feel like that's too popular. Like a dig in.
Be like the new yeah, just like the new Hudson Valley.
Hey, just
like
sandwiches
people
opened
go
up
up
now.
there.
Do you want
Yeah.
They just have salad.
They just have salad.
We're here for the dark fall. Yeah.
The leeches are there, like, hey, guys.
Yeah, they love it.
Mr. Leach.
Mr. Leech.
It's the Fix Your Bike Shop by the Leeches.
Listen, this started dark, but it might have been my favorite episode.
This is great. It's fantastic.
Keep an eye out for the Patreon. I'm excited for it now. I mean, it's gonna be
gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. Give us 5 stars if you haven't already, and a review,
And subscribe.
and subscribe,
And subscribe.
and like.
And watch them.
Watch them. Oh yeah. Or keep
Share
them
with a
running.
friend.
Keep 'em running.
Grassroots.
A lot of
Share them with a friend.
a lot of the comments are always like they clearly watched the entire episode, and I'm like, good for you.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
nice.
Hey, thanks.
For you.
Thanks. I'm like, okay, weren't that busy? I don't. Oh, did nothing cancel? I'm not being serious. Thank you so much for watching. I very much appreciate it.
Did nothing cancel.
Okay, we were at.
We were had.